Hey, what is going on, guys? SpartanNJones here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different for GamesCast. This is going to be my top 5 things for Destiny 2, the second installment of Destiny, because Activision have actually got like a dealership with Bungie to make a 10-year contract with them. So that means they have a chance to make a game for 10 years. So that means there's going to be a lot of Destinies coming out. But these are the type of things that I want to try and see in the next Destiny and what could be improved in the next Destiny itself. But for the question for this week is, what do you guys want to see most in the next installment for Destiny or the next DLC for Destiny? Is it going to be new quests, or is it going to be more narrative? Is it going to be something else? Is it going to be actually narrative this time? Or is there something you want to see that isn't actually in the game so far and you want to have it added? Just say so down below. That was just a question. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get straight to it. So, for the first one, we're going to go for the factions. So, right now, the factions are just there just to give you, like, an upgradable system. Just to be able to give you more loot and be able to give you, I don't know, it's literally only for loot itself. But, I think they missed out on an opportunity to give us more, like, story activities with them, where you could have had actually faction quests, where you could have had the actual main mission quest, then you have like 2 side like stories itself. So you have the main story, then you have the 2 side stories, and then you have faction stories which unlock a strike at the end of it, which you could do like an entire like quest line. You get like different types of like armors from them and everything like that, and then you get all the other stuff. But like right now, yes, there was one of Future War Cult, I think it was, where you had to do like a little quest line and then you get an exotic from it. That was good. They added that in. But for the other ones, there isn't anything like that. Like you could get like an exotic from it, or you get a piece of armor or something like that, like an armor set if you keep on doing this quest line and stuff like that. That'd be pretty good to get. Like, not really like you get the armor set immediately. You have to work towards getting the armor set itself. It's got like a random drop, but the more times you get the drops of the same things, the higher the chances go up for the other bits, which I think that would be a good idea, especially since there's 3 factions. Then they might add in 4. But there's a lot more, because there's like Creaseful Vanguard, there's Dead Orbit, there's New Monarchy, there's Future War Cult, then there's the Crota Bane, then there's House of Judgment, and then there's Queen's, whatever the hell it is. There's a lot of freaking factions to go through. So they could do a lot with it, and especially since I feel like they could have done a lot more with it. Like there's only 1 mission that you can do it with, and that's it, which I think, is it for the Boolean Gemini or something like that? That's the only weapon that you can get from it, which, yeah, it's okay, but, you know, I wish they add more in it. But for the second one, for the second thing that I want to see, they've actually added this in the Challenge of Elders type thing, the Prison of Elders Taken version. They added this in, where they added in more ways to get to the max level or to get higher level, where before it was like really hard, and the only way to actually get like the better stuff is just to do the raid, and that's it. Raid or trials as the only 2 ways you can actually get some of the higher stuff. But now you could do Vanguard Strikes, you can do Challenge of Elders, you could do the raid, you could do multiplayer. You can do anything, really. You can get it from the exotic engrams, which I like that the engrams actually drop at different levels now, instead of just 320 or 310, 320, and that's it. There's no like in-between versions, which I like that now. But if they added in more, especially with like the faction quest as well, you'll be able to get better drops from the factions missions and from strikes and everything like that. Preferably more strike-specific loot, especially for legs or armor pieces or anything like that, because there's only a bond, and there's only a helmet and 1 bit of arms, and that's it. That's all there is for armor, and the rest of it is just weapons. Like, it would be nice to have a ghost as well, like a different style of ghost would be pretty cool to have. But it's just something to kind of think about. Then if we go on to the third thing, which was in at the start, and they only did it for like 2 weapons, I think it was, or maybe 3 weapons in this one, where it is exotic bounties. I would rather have those instead of just randomly getting them, especially from how they did it before, where you had to do like a certain amount of things like every single day, and then you had to wait until Xur came to get these type of things. It kind of made it more like a Warframe type game, where you had to put the time and effort into actually getting these weapons, and they were really good. But, you know, it was like the Boolean Gemini wasn't really that good, especially since it's pretty fast to do. Like, Super Similar, that was good to do. It didn't really take that long to get. It literally was a couple of hours, maybe, just because of the patrol stuff. That was it, really. But if they added in more, like, added in, like, 10 bounties, like, you could have got one for each faction, and then you get them as soon as you get to max level, maybe. Like, if there's gonna be a level in the actual game itself, maybe like a level 40, maybe like level 50 in the actual game of Destiny 2, then they could be able to implement that as soon as you reach that level. You unlock more stuff, you unlock better missions, you unlock better things like that, and then you unlock like more armor sets and everything. Like, it's kind of like lackluster towards the loot system. Like, you can only get a couple of things at most, really. Like, they improved it with having certain faction things for every single thing, but what about Crota, Bane, and stuff like that, where you could only get like a bond or something like that? It's kind of a little bit towards it. But then if we go for the fourth one is going to be unexplored galaxies. I would rather go to a different place, because think it's a sci-fi type game. They have more opportunities than any other game. There's no constrictions to Earth or something like that. They could actually go to a different galaxy or anything like that. They could make up a completely new galaxy. I think they've had Halo. They've made Halo, is the thing. So they know how to design a new world or anything like that. They made Reach and everything like that. They could make out like new characters, new everything like that. And then they go to a different galaxy, and Traveler goes there or something like that. And then they do that kind of stuff where it has like a mass relay, like in Mass Effect, where you get teleported to a different solar system and stuff like that, which would be pretty good to do. And that means your imagination, that means Destiny's imagination could go wild, and then you could have like, I don't know, it could be like No Man's Sky. Well, maybe not like No Man's Sky, because it's a little bit harder for that way, but it's like, especially for other things, where it's like in Warframe, where you have a giant hub, and the only places really on there is just the Milky Way, which is kind of annoying, because games like this can make their imagination go wild. They could choose any place, they could make any place, they could go anywhere, but they decide to always go for Earth. They don't make a completely new galaxy, apart from Mass Effect, really, where they completely make a new galaxy and that's it. But in Destiny, they could have done that pretty easy. Instead, just go into Earth, Mars, Jupiter, anything like that, Venus, where they could make up the new thing. That, like, well, for future DLC, most people have rumored it going to Utopia and something like that, which is a moon of Jupiter, which would be pretty good because Warframe's gone there, and I think Utopia is supposed to be like a snow biome type place, so it'll be pretty good to have a snow biome, because they've got a desert, they've got like a jungly type thing, then they've got a city or an urban place. Then to have a snow one, pretty good to have. It'd be pretty fun to see what it's like. But for our last thing, it's something that I kind of prefer more than anything else, just because I'm not really a PvP type person, but this is just more monthly PvP or PvE things, because it kind of feels like Destiny's more of a PvP type game, especially in how they actually do most of the games, especially in every single like week there's a trials thing, or there's trials, or there's Iron Banner, which comes around every single 2 weeks. But for PvE, you have like, I don't know, like the Nightfall or something like that, which it doesn't really do anything no more, especially since from year 1 to year 2 they got rid of the flaming head, which was so fun to have, but they just got rid of it for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, it was a good aesthetic to have in the game. It just shows you that people have actually done and put that effort into doing the Nightfall. Like, as soon as we got it, as soon as the reset came around, I did the Nightfall, and I had a flaming head just to show off that I did it. But from everything else, like, yeah, they added in the Prison of Elders, which was fun to do at the start, but it wasn't really like a grindy type thing, but now it is a grindy type thing, so that's fine. But it's like, if they had like a rotation on the strikes, that'd be a little bit better. Like, at the start they have like 5 strikes, and then they rotate 2 out and put 2 new in, so they have like, I don't know, like 9 strikes altogether. of everything, I would say, like 9, maybe 10 strikes, and it just rotates around after the first like 2, maybe 3 weeks. It just rotates the strikes around, allowing you to get used to them, allowing different elements to go in, especially if there's like a taken version of it. It just rotates the taken version as well. That'd be a pretty fun thing to have, but I don't think they really thought it through in some parts. But these are the type of things that I want to see in Destiny 2, maybe in the next DLC, which is supposed to be maybe summer, maybe end of summer, maybe like September, somewhere near there it's going to be. But I would say that we're going to see something at E3, but maybe Destiny 2 at E3 with the DLC at E3 as well, which I'm gonna say that it's going to be at the PlayStation, because they're not really buddy friends with Microsoft anymore. But we're going to see what we'll have from this. But remember, don't think of anything as true at the moment. Until it gets past E3, then that's fine. But as soon as everything gets closer to E3 and everything like that, don't trust any sources or anything like that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to answer the question down below if you're a player of Destiny, or if you've never played Destiny before, what things would you like to see in the game itself, and what would change your mind about getting the game for next time playing it. But hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys next video, so peace out.